guys, it's Megan with Vigilante Vibes, and I have another character breakdown for you. And today I am going to continue the Pride Month theme with another LGBTQ character that just does not get a lot of attention, but mostly because they're very new and because the Spider-Verse is huge. I am talking about none other than Cooper Coen, aka Web Weaver. Web Weaver is Marvel's first gay male Spider-Man. As Marvel describes him, Web Weaver, a not-so-mild-mannered fashion designer at Van Dyne, gets spider powers and shows us a very different kind of spider slayer in a story by Steve Fox and Key Zama. So, it already sounds pretty exciting to me, I think. Web Weaver first appeared in Edge of Spider-Verse Volume 2, Number 5 in October of 2022. There has been a lot of talk about how flamboyant Web Weaver is or how he's been described as a twink, but it's important to note what his creator, Steve Fox, says about him. Steve says, "Something I realized immediately when conceiving Web Weaver is that he can't and shouldn't represent all gay men. No single character can. His fearlessly femme identity is central to who he is, but it's not the story." So there you have it. Okay. Now, continuing with Web Weaver's story, it's important to note that Web Weaver is a variant of Spider-Man, not of Peter Parker. Back in high school, Cooper Coen had a major crush on his classmate, Peter Parker. On a field trip, Cooper actually saved Peter from getting bitten by a radioactive spider, but ended up getting bitten himself and gained superpowers. Since then, the two became really close friends. On prom night, when Cooper's date bailed on him, Peter showed up as his bro date so he wouldn't feel lonely. After they graduated, Cooper noticed that Peter's talent for photography while he was working at the Daily Bugle and encouraged him to chase it as a career instead of sticking to science. Thanks to that, Peter landed a job as a runway fashion photographer. Cooper's already tough relationship with his homophobic parents got worse because he had to keep his superhero identity a secret, and eventually they kicked him out. He went to live with his aunts, Lori and Mel, who were super supportive and pushed him to follow his dreams. They got him into New York's top fashion school, which led to a job at the fancy Van Dyne fashion house. That's when Cooper became the superhero Web Weaver, protecting his community and his aunts. Start over. He spent at least 3 years working as Web Weaver, battling all sorts of villains like Chameleon, Morbius, Kraven the Hunter, Symbiotes, Rhino, and all these other characters. His plans to go to Kyle Janadu's summer birthday parties on Fire Island got wrecked by fights with Ant-Man and Morbius 2 years in a row. Then Kraven messed up the third. Don't you just hate when that happens? While Cooper was in college and fashion school, he and Peter ended up living together as roommates and stayed roommates even after graduation. After working at Van Dyne, Cooper dated a co-worker named Albert Moon. But things got messy when Albert left for work for a rival company owned by no one else but North Star. Cooper's still a little salty about it, but he's okay with the complicated fact that Albert was attracted to his Web Weaver alter ego. What Cooper didn't know was that Albert was secretly the superhero Silk. Neither of them knew each other's secret identity, but they still had a flirty, sort of romantic vibe, sometimes covered for each other on superhero missions. So cute. One New York Fashion Week, Cooper found out that a model named Millie Collins was actually impersonated by the shape-shifting assassin Chameleon, who had also disguised himself as Cooper's boss, Janet Van Dyne. Web Weaver stepped in, stopped Chameleon's plans to kill another model, and trapped him with his webs. Right after that, Spider UK popped up in the web portal and recruited Web Weaver to help him fight a new threat in the Spider-Verse. So that there's not much to work with Web Weaver because he's a very new character. But he's a fun character. He's very, very fancy. For his power set, it's about the same as every Spider-Man variant. After getting bitten by a radioactive spider, Cooper has the proportionate strength, speed, and agility. He can crawl walls. He has the Spidey sense, which he calls his web sense. He's fashioned his own web shooters to snare bad guys and swing for fast travel, among other things. So he's one of the many, many, many Spider-Man variants that are in the Spider-Verse. But he's new and he doesn't get a lot of love because there's not much about him. So I hope someone learned something from this. For comics, you can check out About Webweaver. You can check out Edge of Spider-Verse Volume 2. He appears in the 5th issue. Spider-Man Unlimited Infinity Comic. Marvel Voices Spider-Verse #1. Spider Society #1, which is a very fun run, I have to say. I really dug it. And Marvel Voices Pride Volume 3 #1. So keep an eye out for my other breakdowns of other LGBTQ characters throughout the month of June. And be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any other my things I drop, like episodes, trailer reactions. I drop a lot of things. So with that being said, have a marvelous day.